After my two production cards, I began the sequence by introducing a strong solitude sound of a violin. The use of the violin also connotes loneliness and isolation of the female actor, which are emotions my target audience will be able to relate with. As part of the pre-production research, I conducted a questionnaire where I asked my target audience where their preferred location for a crime film would be. 50% of the people I asked voted for a forest location, as they felt its eerie atmosphere would sit well with the twisted story plot I was proposing. They felt the forest would be the most appropriate place to hold the murder, as the victim of the sequence is found walking in her leisure time, which is something members of my target audience enjoy doing for some peace and quiet. I chose to display the title sequence on black intertitles with white typography in the style of a crime programme such as Lewis, and the film I have been studying, This Is England. These examples keep the information clear and easily readable, whilst not distracting the audience's thoughts away from the action that appears between each title. After holding focus groups with the members of my target audience, they informed me that the intertitles were cleverly put together between the various shots, as they contribute to the build-up of the suspense in the first 2 minutes, which subsequently makes the death scenes much more intense. Kat is immediately introduced in the forest on her mobile phone, suggesting her oblivion to the actions to follow. The shot types used in the first 30 seconds of the sequence are very much set up so the actor is distanced away from the camera, combined with a number of disruptive views, which suggest to the audience that she is being watched. The accompaniment of an intense soundtrack also suggests that the fact that she is being watched is not common knowledge to her, which immediately allows the audience to create an emotional response towards the character. I chose to introduce the murderer from various angles that didn't reveal his identity, to thus give the audience some clues whilst withholding the most vital information. The fact that the face is not revealed heightens the intensity of the atmosphere, creating some ambiguity as to what was the motive of the death. This removes the antagonist's relationship with the audience, which immediately allows them to create their own perceived identity for him. Having conducted some audience research, it became clear that the use of non-diegetic sounds such as the African drum instrumental was very effective, as it emulated the beating of a heart, thus reflecting the build-up of tension in the actress as well as in the audience response to the intensity of the opening sequence. I then chose to break up the forest scenes with a change of location to show the crime aspect of the film, shot in a police station. In the police scenes, I chose to create a sequence of shots which represented daily objects in a police station to allow the audience to identify clearly the genre of crime I was portraying. When shooting the exterior shots of the investigation centre, I used pre-recorded sounds from GarageBand of a police station to create some ambient sound which my audience would be familiar with on a daily basis living in towns and cities. I furthermore chose to use more increasingly close-up shots of the victim to disorientate my viewers so that the death isn't initially very clear. The shots also extenuate the props I have used to create some enigma codes which were raised from my audience feedback, such as who was she talking to on the phone before her death, how does she know the murderer, and what is the significance of the necklace carried away from the scene.